some of the things that let me take this off because it's not working. The mic isn't working. Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, so it's working. At least it looks like it is. But anyway, so I just want to share with you. Uh, and this is something that happened when I was young. I was a kid. And yes, it is in New Orleans. So this is something you may not believe happened, or maybe you will, but it's true. So my grandmother raised me, and we would travel a lot. I traveled with her a lot, many, many places we went to. And one of the main places was either Africa or New Orleans. And just to get directly to the situation, one of the situations, okay. So now this one, because it's a lot of things, it's a lot that I would see and deal with when I was young spiritually. Creepy, but real. So my grandmother and I, we have prepared to go out to New Orleans to go and visit. I guess it was her auntie, Mama Katie. So we would go out there and visit Mama Katie, and we went out there very often. But this particular time, and normally we would fly or something. This particular time, we didn't fly. Grandma wanted to ride the train, so we rode on the train. I was having some weird things happening on the train that I can't even explain. It was happening all around me. Never anything attacked me or anything. Um, One situation was I'm sitting at the table and we're eating, and this boy came and he sat behind my grandmother, but he was like facing me. So it was like the double benches, and he was facing me, and I was facing my grandmother, and he was in the other table. And he would just stare at me. I mean, just completely stare. And his eyes didn't blink or anything. So it didn't matter what I did. It just seemed like I kept feeling drawn to look at him. But I wouldn't look at him for very long because it was just so awkward and so weird to me. And it was like he was talking to me and I understood what he was saying, but I could not say what he was saying. Okay. And I don't even right now, I don't remember. I mean, hey, I was a kid. I think I was maybe about 4, 5, maybe 6 years old. I'm 61 right now. But I'm seeing everybody is sharing um, the different things, experiences that they've had in New Orleans and stuff like that. And I say, you know what, let me share so somebody will know that they're not cuckoo along with all the other things. So anyway, with that happened, and we end up making it into New Orleans on the train. And my grandmother seen Uncle Robert. And she just called him, Robert, Robert. And he came running, hey, and gave her a hug and everything. And he said, so who is this? And my grandmother said, oh, this is Joe's baby girl. And so he picked me up and hugged me and everything and gave me a kiss on the cheek and, put me down. And so they were talking. I'm just standing there looking at him because for some reason he looked familiar to me, but I didn't know how. But they were talking. And so he says, okay, I got to go. I got to go. He was rushing. Everything about him was moving fast. And he said, I have to go. I have to go. And so grandma said, well, you know what? You can ride with us because, I mean, we're going to the same place. He said, no, I have to go. I have to go and do this. And he's saying the different things that he needed to do. And grandma, she tried to get him to ride with us. And he said, no. Then he got to the point where he said, guess what? I'll just meet you there. And she said, okay, all right. So then we get to Mama Katie's house. And we go in and stuff, and she have all these baby dolls just all lined up. And I'm looking at this particular baby doll. It was a white baby doll with curly hair, and one of her eyes is like this. So I'm looking at it, and I mean, they didn't scare me. It was just kind of creepy because when we walked into her house, it's just I don't know. It was so weird to me. And that baby doll was like a rubber doll. She was white and it was thick, but it was sitting down along with the stuffed animals and all the baby dolls that was there. And so we go in and we're sitting there. We go straight to the kitchen. That was in the living room. Then it was like a bed there, a curtain, you know, for the bed. And then it was like a back area. And then you go to the left, it's the kitchen. And I know you can't see it, but I'm just kind of going through this right now because when I was walking in, I'm looking at everything. It was a little house. Um, so Grandma and her was sitting there, and Grandma said, "Hey, where's Robert? I got to call Robert and see when he's gonna be here." And Mama Katie said, "Robert," and so Grandma said, "Yeah, call Robert." And they having a conversation and stuff. And Mama Katie said, "Robert is dead." And so Grandma said, "No, we just seen Robert at the train station." And Mama Katie said, "No, Robert is dead. Robert's been dead for 2 years." So Grandma had me, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening, right? And I'm like, "Oh, God, this is crazy." I mean, that's not what I was saying. I don't even know what I was thinking, but I remember my expression. So Grandma called me in there in the kitchen, and Grandma had me to describe what it was that Robert had on: the brown hat, the sweater, the slacks, the shoes, everything. And then Mama Katie just started crying. She said, "Robert's been dead for 2 years already." And she never called. She didn't want to tell him because she knew Robert was like her favorite and stuff. Anyway, they went into that conversation. And then I went back in there staring, sitting across from those baby dolls and just looking at them, trying to figure out why they looking at me. Seriously, they were looking at me like I was a stranger, like I was the baby doll. Um, so I asked to play with the baby dolls. And Mama Katie said, "No, you can play with all of those baby dolls, but this one right here, this is my special doll. Don't play with her." And that was the big rubber one with the eye, one eye messed up. Okay, so I'm playing with the baby dolls. Everything is fine. The next thing I know, I'm sitting there and I'm having a tea party with all of them. It just happened. But I went right along with it. We just having a really good time. I'm having a good time with the baby dolls as if they were alive, but I knew they wasn't alive. I don't know how to explain that. Okay, so now it's time to go to bed. And they had me to sleep in the bed that was strange to me. So I'm sleeping, and they take the bath and stuff and get ready, and then I'm laid in the bed. I don't know. The bed felt like I was sinking in, and Grandma prayed. We prayed and everything. The bedtime prayer, and then I woke up. I felt something sit on the bed, and so I woke up, and I'm looking. And Robert is sitting on the foot of the bed, but it's just the hat, the sweater, the slacks, just sitting there on the bed as though somebody's in it because there was no face. And the head was down like this. And it was just there. And so I called Grandma, Grandma. I called Grandma, and she come running, and she was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "The man's sitting on my bed. He's sitting on my bed. Uncle Robert's sitting on my bed." And so Mama Katie got up and everything, and so they was praying and stuff, right? And then I went back to sleep. Okay, so the next day, now this is the second day we was there, and it was a big old bucket, not even a bucket, it was one of those big pails that you wash clothes in. And Uncle Robert told me, "Go and pour this in the tub That's what it was, one of the big tubs. Go and pour this in the tub. So I took this huge uh, bucket, container, and full of water, I guess. No excess. It was full of some liquid that looked like water. And I poured it into the tub. And so Mama Katie went to go and get some liquid out of the tub and put into her little lamp, but it didn't work. So then she asked, it didn't work because she had just got it or something like that. And so I told them that Uncle Robert told me to pour the stuff into the tub. Well, in the tub was the kerosene, and Uncle Robert had me to pour water into the kerosene, and it was really crazy. It was really crazy, and so that was just something that happened on that day. Okay, those 2 days. On the third day, I'm sorry. Every day I would go sit out on the porch because I didn't know anybody. And every day it was this girl, she would just ride by skating. She was getting down on those skates, and she would skate so fast, like within seconds, she's just passed me and I don't see her no more. And then I used to like look, right? And I didn't see her. So then I told Grandma that I want to go skating. So Grandma bought me some skates. We went and got skates. Now, all this stuff happened within that same week. I went in and got some skates. Grandma bought me some skates. And I told Grandma that I wanted to go skating with the girl. And she was like, what girl? I said, the girl that she goes skate every day. She skate past every day. So I explained it to her and how the girl be, having fun skating. So Grandma let me go skating. But she said, no, you cannot go with that girl. And then on this particular day, I just felt so compelled, and I was so energized and so ready. I'm like, when she come, I'm skating with her. She came, and she was skating so fast. It seemed like it took her a long time to get to where I was. But normally it's fast, right? But this time it took her longer to get to where I was. But as soon as she got there, I was ready. So I'm skating with her. She's not saying anything. She's just looking straight ahead. And I'm skating with her. And she starts skating real fast. And I'm trying to catch up with her. I'm going as fast as I can. And I'm kind of keeping up a little bit. But then when we got down about a block or so, she went right through a brick wall. I just stood there like, she went through the brick wall. So I skated back, and Grandma was upset because I left. She didn't know where I was, but I never heard her call me. So I went back, and she asked me where I was, and I told her I went skating with the girl, and she wanted to know where the girl was. I told her she went through the brick wall. I said it as though it was normal because I didn't know, but she went straight through the brick wall. Now, this is true. This is some true stuff. This was in New Orleans, Louisiana. Louisiana. I kid you not. So there you have it. I dealt with Uncle Robert. Seeing him, he picked me up at the train station. I dealt with him sitting on the bed, and then he had me to pour water into the kerosene in the tub. I dealt with the girl on skates. This is true. This was a journey as a child. So I'll be sharing more of what I've seen, what I dealt with in the spirit world, in the creepy crawly times. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I need your subscription. And leave a comment. Share some things that you've been through, what you've seen. Because I have some stuff all the way up until 2025, 2024 that I dealt with directly. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Blessings, peace, prosperity, and protection from the God that sit up on the throne. All power is in his hand. Love be the reason. You have yourself a very blessed and victorious life. In Jesus' name, amen.